Can you imagine what it would do, not just for the youth, but for the whole country?
So that was just a few clips from other things that we've done already this year, some drone footage of where we're from and some footage that screened on NITV in March. So we're here with Encounter. Encounter is a virtual reality application that will take the viewer onto our marae to illuminate the world of Māori thought through the pōwhiri, through stories and through history from our people. Back in 1975, only one person under the age of 30 could speak Te Reo Māori in our wider iwi. Today, over 50% are fully fluent, and it is growing. And so what we've found is that when people come to Otaki, they are amazed by who we are and our connection to culture. And we decided that we wanted to capture that in an immersive application using the incredible tools of virtual reality.
Tēnā koutou ka ngā whakaihiwaka o tēnei kaupapa nui taioriori. Nei rā a Zivana Eriha,
Madeleine de Young.
Metekingi, e mihi atuana kia koutou. We are from a small village within the Art Confederation called Otaki. The Art Confederation are our three main iwi, Ngāti Raukoa, Tuarangatira and Te Aotearoa. You may or may not have heard that Otaki is the first bilingual town in New Zealand, but that's nothing new to us. We're a town that value culture, language and tikanga.
We're here under the guidance of the Madeleine Charitable Trust. Madeleine's main mandate is to enable and enhance Indigenous storytelling both in Aotearoa and around the globe. And within that, our main activity is to run the Madeleine Film Festival, which has provided us a lot of the information that we're using to drive our kaupapa encounter. So what we find when people come to Madeleine is that they are overwhelmed. They find it life-changing, they find it healing, and they tend to cry a lot.
So what is Encounter? Encounter is a portal that allows everybody and anybody to enter a cultural experience through pōwhiri. And with the guidance of Arangatai Kaitiaki, you will be taken, shown and told tikanga protocol and stories within the Art Confederation. And through the guidance of the Arangatai Kaitiaki, you will feel the love, warmth and mauri as you would feel if you're at the pōwhiri in person. This is where sound effects, music and the virtual reality headset will really enhance this experience. Imagine popping on a pair of virtual reality glasses and being taken through a cultural experience through the eyes of a young person. An animated mauri from the tangata whenua, portrayed as a rangatai kaitiaki or guide, will take you to different aspects of a pōwhiri. This will start at the waharo, where you'll be called on through the power of karanga. By portraying these stories through potentially augmented virtual reality, the viewer will be immersed in this experience, allowing them to feel the excitement, the chills and the goosebumps you would feel as if you were at the pōwhiri in person.
What brings us to our next question. What makes Encounter different and competitive? First, we have our 10 leading principles known as ngā mā tāpono, such as manaakitanga, waihuatanga, kaitiakitanga, kotahitanga, whanaungatanga, pukengatanga, ukaipotanga, rangatiratanga, whakapapa and te reo, that underpin the experience of pōwhiri. 2. The worldwide famous haka, Kamate, composed by our chief, Te Rau Paraha, from Ngāti Toa Rangatira, would be told by a book kaitiaki, amongst many other stories within the Art Confederation, that will leave you with goosebumps and a kete of knowledge. For so long, people who don't know the story have been telling the story, and we are here today ready to tell you the inside of our culture, because we live it, we breathe it, and we love it every day. We say people are our biggest assets. I believe Māori rangatahi such as ourselves hold the key to unlocking the unique cultural encounter for New Zealand and international visitors. With this comes value, reaffirming our identity. For users, it offers an unparalleled experience.
Who are our customers, our target market? We believe that our early adopters are academic, such as universities both overseas and in New Zealand, education such as kura Māori, kura Pākehā, international schools, preschool, kindergarten and kohanga reo, and lastly tourism, both for pleasure and educational purposes.
So I guess the big question is, how do we bring this all to life? And so we've done a brief budget, but we do recognise that depending on the scale of what we end up creating, this could vary widely. So this is sort of a base level. Our big costs that we're looking at are largely people costs, finding the right people to train our rangatahi so that they can be the people holding the equipment. You know, they're the ones shooting it, they're the ones helping with the key creative content and delivering it into reality. And also the app build, which at the very basic could be quite cheap, and at the very beautiful and intuitive could be extremely expensive. In terms of seed capital, we'd be looking to begin with Ngā Hapu o Otaki. This is all the hapu and Otaki gathered together as a funding body who've supported Māori Land for the past 4 years and support our kaupapa both at a sort of whānau level of giving us the mandate to tell these stories, but also by giving us some capital to be able to get the process. We'd also be looking to industry bodies such as the New Zealand Film Commission and New Zealand On Air, corporate partners, especially those in the film world, such as we have partners at Park Road Post and other organisations, and crowdfunding sites such as Boosted. Last year we raised $26,000 for a Boosted campaign to support a kaupapa called the Native Slam, which enabled us to do post-production for a series of 5 short films and take them to markets in the UK and, the European film market, Finland, Sydney and Toronto. The very small encounter is low cost but high impact. The real sort of special element about our story is that these are really big emotive stories that we want to tell, and so we can film them ourselves, but the more capital we get in, the bigger it gets. In terms of a rollout, what we're looking at is starting off with a prototype of Encounter content producer, Roko Marae, and so putting that into 360, hosting it on Facebook, and then seeing how the market responds to see if we have an idea that is worth taking to the next level. Getting a positive feedback from that, we then look to building the app and looking for tourism partners such as Kapiana Nature Tours, Mātai Māori Village, so that people can not only experience the Māori world through our app, but then take that to reality and go out and seek opportunities in real life. Lastly, we'd open the platform to other Indigenous partners. So Encounter will begin with being a very intimate story that we tell as the people of Porokua, but we believe that it has the potential to be able to go to other Indigenous communities so that they too can share their stories. Our key things for us are our social and cultural impact. So we believe that all profits that we create through the Māori Charitable Trust should be invested back into our people, and so that we can build upward capacity through training, through creative opportunities, and through funding into our kura and wānau. We also believe that there's opportunity here to bring Māori and Pākehā and Aotearoa closer together. A lot of New Zealanders have never been on a marae, and there's a lot of fear that comes with the unknown, which leads to discrimination. And so by posing who we are in a lived and intimate way, we hope we can broaden people's hearts and minds. Last but not least, we hope to be able to use Encounter to further connect our people. As I mentioned, we have links in Finland, we've got McColwig, Sundance Film Festival in the US, Imaginative in Toronto, and Winter in Sydney. And we'd be looking to those communities to be able to give our platform to lift up their voices as well.
The idea is especially awesome. especially around getting our culture to go out there and being told by young people as well. And even better, young people are our future. I just have a question basically around a VR experience and a real experience. You've probably heard of Airbnb, and they've got experiences now that you can go somewhere and experience someone else's culture or the way they cook dinner. It all depends on what's on offer. So what would make what you're doing something above doing something for real, like instead of face-to-face, where someone can immerse themselves in our culture, or through VR? Or maybe the question is VR the way to get somebody to come to you, and experience your marae or whatever is on in VR for real? Is it a pathway to bring that?
Yeah, so we have talked about this a bit. There's a couple of things in it. One is, as you mentioned, as a pathway for people to actually come. So, as I mentioned, there's a bit of fear for people when it comes to coming onto a marae for the first time. Most people know that there are protocols involved, but they tend to only hear about the negative stories. And so what we find when we host our opening portfolio for Madeleine, which is where that photo before was taken from, there's a lot of sort of, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to react, I don't know if I'm allowed to be there, is it rude if I come? And so part of the intention of Encounter was to make it informative but in an entertaining and really relaxed and engaging manner, so that people would have the tools to then go, okay, I can do this, I want to know more, I want to get involved. The other side of things is, as you mentioned, Airbnb experiences. A lot of people come to our marae from overseas and they want to take that experience back to their whānau, wherever they may be, and it's cost prohibitive for a lot of people to come to Aotearoa and see it themselves. And so Encounter has the potential to reach the whole world and provide a snapshot of who we are and where we are in the world that may then drive people to come back. But it's a talk about, wow, I went and I saw this amazing thing, I went to a porphyry, there was a haka, there was this, there was that, and check it out, you can check it out via the fact. Why don't we plan a trip next year and we can go do it ourselves? So that's sort of what we're hoping to achieve by putting it there. Yeah.
My question is around the business model side of things. So I understand I think it makes sense to get partners on to get the first kind of step going so that you can do and start talking about it. What's the long-term business model? Are you to charge people to use it, or is that not the purpose of it?
Yeah. So we've looked into a couple of different options there. One of them is to provide premium add-ons within the experience. So have a suite of free content, but if you want to delve really deep into it, then you pay $1.29 to get that video, or $10 to get 5 or something. And those numbers are just sort of based on what other people are already doing. Another option that we are thinking about is going to businesses and education providers and offering it as a cultural competency suite, or for teachers as a sort of conduit to the current curriculum. I was talking to a teacher last night and he was saying in a Pākehā school, his resources are basically pictures and pieces of paper, and so he can talk to them, but beyond actually taking his whole class out of the classroom and going to a marae, it's very hard to illustrate what he's doing. So if we could put together a suite of videos with PDFs of waita and other information to support it, it would be something of value to him as a teacher. Especially with how hard it is to actually get kids out of the classroom with health and safety and all of those other regulations that we
I think the corporate line is a good one actually.
Yeah.
The tech side of it, obviously, like we are, videos and all sorts of stuff. It's obviously going to be a bit of a tech build. Do any of you guys like have technical sort of experience like programming, designing, filming? Just like what's the skill set of the group outside of just
Yeah. So Philly here is a young filmmaker in her own right. Do you want to talk about that?
I'm just saying, if it's a VR tech product, what's the technical understanding now of the
So earlier this year we had DIGMYIDEA come over from Australia to run a series of VR workshops with our young people, and they're planning to come back to do a wider tour to assist us. So that's a bunch of really onto it Aboriginal guys who are sort of pushing the button in Australia when it comes to Indigenous VR use.
are they doing a similar thing over there?
They are wanting to work with us to look at how we can do this together. So a lot of the footage you saw at the beginning was shot with them or by us and hosted by them and back and forth. So we've got quite a collaborative relationship with them. And one of our goals would really be to hook up with mentors like DIGMYIDEA to be able to teach more of our young filmmakers like Billy, and there's a bunch of them down in Osage, so that they would have the skills to develop the product.
Kia ora koutou. This is awesome. I think one of the things you look at, and well done, I think your presentation covered off all the key bits really well and in good order, so well done to you guys and for supporting you too. One of the things you kind of look for is what's that complete package look like, and it seems to me that it's a great kind of technology vision. There's lots of people doing that sort of stuff in different spaces, but it seems to me a strength that you have is the content side of things in terms of how you digitise some of the really cool cultural experiences that you can bring through your whānau, hapuri, through the marae and so on and so forth. I'm assuming Libby's kind of been sitting in the background there somewhere going, just make this thing happen, is that right?
Yeah, so Libby she's my mentor and has assisted both of these girls over the past, and
I mean, that's golden. When you see, you kind of say, can these people pull this sort of thing off? But when you look at the people that you guys have got around you, the answer is absolutely you keep pulling off. Because you've got good people around you who have the creative nous and expertise, who have the digital kind of vision and doing some stuff and have the tools, the infrastructure to help you. So with Tuanama or Raukawa, I'm assuming is kind of there in the background too. You've got some really good support systems around you, good people around you. So that's just an observation, really. I guess the question is, how are you guys going? What's your next step? How are you going to take this to the next step? I saw your stage 1, 2, 3 earlier. That all made sense.
Yeah.
But when you leave here tomorrow, what are you going to do next? Because I love this idea.
As I mentioned, in DIGMYIDEA we're planning to come back and do another series of workshops with us.
Yeah.
And so I think our first thing will be to consolidate everything that we've talked about and learned this weekend, because that's been like an information burst. And then
Say overload.
And then go into some of that mentorship so that we can really flesh out who else would be involved with us and what avenues that we need to look to really fill out the picture. So it's a bit of a problem solving R&D phase.
Because I think your content most likely is going to be absolutely the key part of this, not how what you push that through, whether it's a website or goggles or TV or whatever that is. Your content is going to be really valuable, critical to this. And so it's what's that next step. But then it's going to be one of the most resource burning thing too, is having good content. So
one just quick follow-up on, outside of the guys over in Australia, have you looked into any of the other potential people in New Zealand that have been doing some potential VR stuff around this sort of?
Yeah, we've started looking at that, and I'm maybe, as you want to, going to go to that VR thing at Park Road next week, and so we're diving into that area Libby was at Tech Week last week, so I'm catching up with her early next week to talk about that. And just, it seems like there's been a real explosion of VR information in the last month even that we're trying to wrap our heads around and make the most of.
Just one final comment from me. I'm really impressed by like the way that you can answer questions. To me, the way that you answer questions kind of indicates the level of fabric in terms of all the different areas that you're thinking about, like being able to